Hi, I'm Len Farnath. Welcome to my video about changing gradients and CSS menus. Now, I've got a content management system for my website, and on my content management system I needed a menu that would look good, be functional, and change with all of the colors that different color patterns that I use in my website, and would just flow with the system. For example, this menu system here has a gradient, and it's a lighter color on the top and a darker color on the bottom, and then when you mouse over it, it opens up and displays something different. And then when you I'm going to go here so I don't change the page. When you press, the pressed state is a lighter version of the same color. Now, what I needed this to do is I needed it to be able to go ahead and change every time I change the website colors. So I'm going to demonstrate by changing the website colors real quick. Like, let me go open this in a new tab so you can see what it looks like now. Okay, and when I change the website colors here for my tagline, let's see, I'm going to use this color wheel page here for that. You can see that the tagline is, well, it says it's a kind of a green, but make sure I'm in the right site. Yep, I am. Okay. No, that's the footer text. That's the problem. Okay, sorry about that. Let me back up. Tagline. Okay, I should read this side. I'll have to fix that. Okay, you can see I've got a blue tagline right now, and what I want to do is I want to change that to a green tagline. We'll go a little darker here, and we'll change that like so. And now when we go back over to the website, you can see it's blue, and on its hover state it's a light blue. So now that I've clicked it and I've had changed it, it's green, and the light state of the click is green. So you can see how the gradients are still following, and all of the colors are following. The light and dark, everything follows up, and I'm about to show you exactly how you go about doing that. But let me go ahead and I might want to put my website back. You know what, I kind of like that. I'll leave it just like that. Yeah, I'll leave it like that for a little while, at least during the video. Okay, so what I've done is I've made a file which is the back end of this menu. Now, where I've got this menu from is a site called Code Drops, and I'm going to show you right now. They have a lot of tutorials, and this particular tutorial, if you go to codedrops.com and you click on tutorials, it has tutorials about all of the neat things you can do with your website. I've used a lot of their stuff, and they're really good. There's a lot of really useful information there, but I'm going to go to their demo on the CS3 buttons, which are the buttons that I used. As you can see, they've listed out all their code, and it's a complete tutorial and everything. And this particular one is done by Mary Lou, and I think it's Manola. I'm probably screwed that up. But anyway, she does really good work with the CSS3, and her tutorials are awesome, so I figured I would use this one here as a demonstration for how this works. So let's go ahead and go to the demo that she has here, which is a flat yellow color. And you can change these colors, you know, just one at a time. And if you'll look at the source code of the page, which is what I've done in order to do this, you'll see that it's just a page here, and it also has a style sheet. And the style sheet that we're concerned with here is style 3. And if you look at style 3, you'll notice that it has all these colors here that repeat themselves. And this is a background color. These are just different gradient colors for the different effects that it has. Like, for example, it has a untouched effect, which is a button up. You're not mousing over it. That's what it's going to look like. Then it has button text. It has text settings for the slide out button on the bottom. It has a button icon on the right, which is that little arrow, and then it has some rotation of the arrow, so the arrow rotates on its state when you go over it. And then it's got an active state, and each of these states has colors. You'll see that this color is here, 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 and all these colors, a lot of them repeat themselves. So there's about, I want to say about 10 or 12 different color things in here. So in order to make this code to where it works across all of my color schemes, what I've had to do is, now I've taken everything and put it in one file. I don't have a separate CSS file and a separate menu file, because this is all an include file, and this goes into my system. So if I go back up here and go back to my system, you will see, no, that's different there. You will see that this is actually an include file that I have included into my website, and if I go back over here, I can uninclude that just by going to my gallery system. This is another reason why you might want to use include files. The reason you want to use include files is because if you change, and my site has a lot of menus, a lot of pages, and if I had to change the menu on each and every single individual page, it'd be, you know, quite a catastrophe. So we go back over here and I'll refresh, and you'll see a whole different menu style now. Okay, and this is completely different from the other menu because it's a different include file. So for this reason, I like to include all of my CSS and as much of everything as I can into one file. And I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to go back to the menu that we're working with right now. This particular include, which I just showed you, was 7, and my menu is 11, and that's what I want to keep on the site is 11. So if I hit any of these buttons or refresh, it'll go back to 11. So I'm going to go ahead and hit blog, refresh, and now I have my new menu that drops down. And you'll notice what I like about this menu is if you'll look at the arrow here, the arrow also changes state and rotates as you're dropping the message from the top. So now let's just go to the include file itself. We'll get away from the menu and everything. And the include file by itself looks like this. And this is the file without being embedded into a website or anything. So how do we affect these changes in gradient and color from the top to the bottom? Well, we do that through PHP and functions. So I'm going to go to my file here. This is my file, and you can see where I was showing you those colors in the code on the background. And what I've done is I've replaced those colors with this Echo Menu Color 2, Echo Menu Color 3, Menu Color 4, Menu Color. I've got anywhere from Menu Color 1 all the way to about Menu Color 7 or 8 when you get down to the bottom here. I've got one color here apparently I forgot to change, but I haven't noticed it in the menu, but I'll change that here shortly. Anyway, that might be a gray, and if it is, we'll find out. So the best way to figure out what you need to do to manipulate these colors is I use a program called paint.net, and what paint.net has is it has a color wheel like I have on the back of my sites, and when you open paint.net, it's got more and less, and when you hit more, it'll show you the hex value of the color. So what you do is you just take the color you want, and let's say you want a red menu. You just slide this over here until this little box looks the color you want, and then you just cut this, copy it, and in my case I will paste this right into the function that is the base color that creates all of the math for my website. and this is the base color that that this form will run off of. Oh, I have to upload it. You can't use PHP on your local machine unless you've got a server installed, WAMP, XAMPP, or something like that. I'm not really going to get into that because this video is going to be long enough as it is. But you can see I put in one color and everything changes. The gradients change, the overlay state changes. Everything changes when you change that one color. Now let's go back and we'll discuss the programming that goes on behind the scenes here. Now in my situation, I've got this require scripts and I've got this require scripts page function. This connects to my database and this pulls the function that is the color that I use for my website. So in my case, I use, let's see, it's called logo color. And that's the variable that that feeds my website is logo color. So if I just uncomment these, and this is how the file actually works within my site and on the website. And if I put that back up there, and it is, you will see that the color that I have on my website is the color that the menu bar should be. No, something. Oh, maybe I didn't save this page. Yeah, I saved it. Okay. Logo color start. Oh, okay. All right. This is on a different website, so that is the logo color for that website. Never mind. That's on socialwidget.com. I'm working on two different websites here. Sorry about that. And so let's go to, let's make it white real quick. And anyway, if you're working from a database or whatever, you can feed a variable to this, and that's the point that I was getting to with that. But if you're not working with a database, you don't really have to have that that particular thing. Let me pull my include file off of there because it's still hitting that. Okay. So you don't need these include files at the very top if you're not working from a database. So what you will want to do is set it up to where your base color is the entire color. Let me pause here. Okay, not sure exactly what happened there, but I did get it worked out. So anyway, let's go to that page, and we've got that, and we'll change that back to all solid white. And we need to ship it up to the server, and it's up there now. And no, that's okay. So let's do FFFFF. Maybe it doesn't like my 3-digit. There, okay. So you'll see it's not a solid white because there's some math functions going on in the background. One thing that I've done to change this around a little bit is I've chose my colors to be white because I haven't exactly figured out how to make a completely contrasting color function in the pages here. But anyway, let me go through an explanation of what's happening here. Right here I have, and I've found these on the internet, they're real easy to find. You just Google color lighter function PHP or color darker function PHP, and what you have, what you'll get is what I have in the highlighter here. Basically what this does, the color reducer function starts here and ends right here. And so what you're going, actually no, it ends right here, return new hex. So line by line, let's go through this. This gives you your hex value, and hex factor equals 30. And so basically this is the hex factor by which I don't really even know what that has to do with anything, with the factor being 30, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's what it's doing there. But here's how it's ending up working in the end. It takes the red, the green, the blue, whatever, and it does some division on it. I don't know all of the behind the scenes crap. It's a function and it works. So what it does is it takes your color, and how you define a function is you name the function right here, and then you put the value that you want starting in the parentheses. And in this case, you put, now rather than put each color in here and make it happen that way, I'm taking the one color that we're using and I've made that a variable, and I put that variable up here. Otherwise, if I wanted to change my colors, I'd have to change them throughout the entire system. Now the only place in the entire page where I need to change a color is right here, and I can just change it anytime I want to, and all with that one change, everything changes on the web page. So I've got put black in there and the whole thing looks black. Of course, black doesn't really have much in the way of gradients, so we'll find a better choice here later after I get through this. So anyway, this is the color reducer function, and then you have another function down below, or well, you don't. Before I get into that, what I've done is I've taken start color, which is a variable that is our color that we decide on, and I've made menu color 5 equals 20%, menu color 2 equals 40%, menu color 3 equals 65%, menu color 6 equals 95%, and menu color 7 equals 80%. Now I've taken another function that works in exactly reverse, that makes the colors darker. Now I only really need one darker color for what I've found. I could probably tweak it and make several more if I wanted to. But for this, I'm going to show you I've got menu color 3, and that's 30% darker than the actual menu color itself. And then down below, I've got menu color 1, which is the color I started with because I'm going to be using that in certain places. I do have this menu color 8 equals FFFFF, white. I started to use this down below, but I ran into enough colors with 7 different menu colors, so that's where I ended up. So that's still there, and I'll just leave it there. It's not hurting anything. It's not affecting anything. If I need white real quick, I'll just put it there. Anyway, if you go through, and here's the code view again of the animated buttons, and I closed the code view, so let me open it back up. The code view of the animated buttons, which is in the style sheet, you can see that there's these different colors right here that define the backgrounds. And you can see this one here carries through here, and it carries through here, and a lot of other places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this right here, and I'm going to go over to my paint program, and I'm going to put this in here. And then I'm going to take a bucket, I'm going to splash it onto this screen. Now you can see it up here in the upper right hand corner, but I'm going to go ahead and open a new file real quick and show you something else in here in the source code. Now we're going to go to a different one of these colors here and copy that, take it back over here, paste it in, and we'll put that on this palette. Now you can see that this color here is darker than this color here. Now this is the color that in the sheet is on the right, and in the on the sheet it's on the right, on here it's on the left, so don't let that confuse you. But this is the first color that we started out with, and you'll notice that this is a lighter color. You can do this throughout your style sheet. And basically what you want to do is you want to take every one of these different colors and shades and just copy them out, put them in your paint program like so, and as you open them up, I'll start a new one here, just dump them in flood fill, and you can see you've got, in this situation, we've got 3 different brightnesses. Now here's where a little guessing work comes into play. You know this is the original color that we wanted to start out with, and we know that this is a lighter version of the original color, and we know that this is a darker version of the original color. So what's sitting in this source file right here, this last one, is a darker color. So what we want to do is we want to replace this with a darker color in our style sheet, which I've done, which is down here. You'll see menu 3, and as I showed you before, menu 3 was a part of this darken function, and it says menu 3 color equals darker with 30%. So how you reference a function is you create your variable here, which in this case is menu 3, and then it equals the function and the arguments of the function, which are placed inside these parentheses, and then you have this line here. And you can do as many different ones of these as you want to, and then where you want to use this darker, you put it down here as menu color PHP echo menu color 3, right where the color is. Now here's a color that I haven't put that into yet. The reason being because this is a gray, and I really I don't need to manipulate that color at all. That color is part of a background and is needed to just stay gray. But just to show you how easy this is to do, when you copy your menu color thing here and you click on that, if you're using Notepad++, when you click on it, all of the instances of this will highlight. And because all of the instances highlight, you can go in here and do search and replace. We can find that, and we can replace that with the parameter that we have and replace all, and it says 3 occurrences were replaced. Now that gray is all going to echo out that darker menu situation, but we're not going to do that because I don't really want it. I just want it to stay gray, but I was just demonstrating for this purpose. But if you'll look, you can see these menu colors, how many times the one color shows up in different places in the menus. And you can do this with any menu that you want to, anything that uses a lot of colors. The best thing to do is just take a PHP script, and if you've watched my other video about dynamic CSS with PHP, that's a little more descriptive about how you go about doing that. But anyway, this right here, this is the reducing function. This is the make it darker function. So this one makes it lighter, this one makes it darker. And to make a new darker function, all you have to do is create a variable here. I'm just going to copy this one and paste it down here. And then you set your percentages. If you want 10% lighter, you just set it for 10%, and you name this variable something unique. In this case, we saw that I had 8 down below as a white, so I would call this menu color 9. So now anywhere I want a 10% reduction in color intensity, I would echo out this menu color 9. So that's how I'm able to change all of the colors in the menu and maintain gradients and still have everything look really good. It's a really neat system, a really neat way to do this. I'll probably post this code on my site. This is mainly an explanation of how my content management system works and how easy it is to change the colors in the content management system. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go back to my initial theme that I had. No, that's not the one. What was it? Yeah, that was restaurant theme, I guess. So I'm going to use that. Go back to the website, and when I flip it, it goes back to my blue sooner or later. There it is. Okay. And by putting your color values in a database, you can switch your colors on the site anytime you want to. And this makes for a real nice looking menu bar that does all of this neat stuff, yet it carries through to the colors of your website. So you can use this to make something that's really entirely complex and it would take you a long time to go through and change the colors manually, rather than changing the colors, why not just change the variables and set up the mathematical functions that will automatically change all of your colors for you, and yet keep these gradients and keep these button states so that this looks like a pressed button as a lighter color and all that. And like I say, it's a button state, and you know, you have different functions. Anyway, this has probably gone long enough, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped to explain how the CSS menu system on my site works. Have a good one.